everything is falling into place here. You develop a feeling of peace and a comfort level in this place.
You know, started out with the typical rescue mission stuff like a soup kitchen, chapel service, an emergency shelter. But since then we've added a women and children's program, education and employment program, men's residential programming. So we've definitely gotten a lot bigger.
We want them to feel comfortable, we want them to feel loved, and we want them to know that we do care for them, to be their servant when they first come through the doors. Then after that, we just take them along on a process, get their name, social security number, we do a Megan's Law background check on them, and when we do all that, we process them. Then we offer opportunity to other programs if they wish to go to 90-day, long-term, 9-month, 18-month program. It's optional for them. If they're not pleased to join any program and they wish just to come as a shelter guest, that's fine with us.
There are a lot of people that do come to us for food, and not just people who are strictly homeless, but people who live in the area who are poor, who are deciding between paying the electric bill and going grocery shopping. And so sometimes they pay the electric bill and then come to Light of Life for dinner.
Someone could have put meat sauce over top of it, who knows? We get, I think it's 80% donations, something around 70–80% of donations. Everything else we buy with donated budgeted money, so it's really 100% donated food, but 80% of it comes in food form, which is really awesome. This is where we serve the men that are coming in just for a meal. So we call them shelter guests or overnighters. They're the people who just use our emergency shelter downstairs, or they're just coming by for a meal for one night. So they come through here, they all sit down to a hot meal. We set the table before they even get in here. So they sit down, there's hot food in front of them, everything they need, and they'll go ahead and they'll eat, they'll chow down, and then they'll leave out the back, and we just keep rolling them through.
I was a client here before, and this is my way of giving back.
Oh, really?
That it's not just, you know, the poor and the homeless that have addiction problems. I came from an upper middle class family, so addiction covers every class.
We know that if we can work with people to kind of address the root causes of homelessness, typically addiction and mental health are major issues for the homeless. And with addiction, we often are able to identify that a person who, you know, becomes an addict has experienced significant trauma in the form of abuse, neglect, or abandonment, typically at a young age. And so when we start to dig down into those deeper, darker kinds of issues with people, it's very useful to be able to offer hope to them, that God can be there with them as they are, you know, going through this process of trying to address really bad habits and completely change their lifestyle.
I was very depressed, mad at myself, you know, because it was the first time in my life I had nowhere to go.
I think when I first came, I had a couple presuppositions or assumptions that weren't true. And I think the first one would be, when men come here, they want to get help and they want to get better. That's not necessarily true. And connected with that is, I've often found that men, and even myself, we want to get better to a point where things are comfortable, not to where we get healthy.
You will not get one thing out of this program or any program like this unless you really want to do it. They can give you all the coursework in the world. It's not going to help you unless you want to change, unless you want to do it.
The guys who really do well have gotten to a point where they've been broken enough that getting comfortable isn't good enough, that they really want to try to get as healthy as they can. And once a guy is willing to do that, then the help that I can offer can maybe actually work. But I found it's mostly trying to meet that most basic need for belonging, for acceptance, and also the spiritual aspect of being forgiven for the past and that there's hope for the future. We're a Christian organization, so the belief that, that Jesus Christ can meet a person wherever they're at, offer them forgiveness, but then also give them empowerment and strength to not have to repeat that.
It's been a slow progress. I mean, I didn't come in 2 weeks and say, wow, I got it, I'm ready to go. It doesn't work that way. It's like, it's just, I'm trying, and I'm very I want everything done quickly. It's been very difficult for me to have the patience to do this and pace this and take it out on an even kill.
All I needed at that time was somewhere where I could save money, concentrate on work, pay off a few bills, and get money saved up so that I would be able to move into an apartment of my own and not have to worry about living check to check or where I'm going to be tomorrow.
We direct them to community resources so that they can assist in their job search, but we don't necessarily say, here's a job, here's a guarantee, go tell them that you're with Light of Life and you'll get the job. Guys come in and they really thought that they were going to get the job and they didn't, and say, okay, how do you handle the disappointment? I'll give them a day, say, okay, I understand you're depressed. You had 2 interviews and thought this was going to be, but you can be depressed for a day, and then tomorrow I'm going to kick your butt and we're going to get at it again.
There's a lot of fellowship here. Like, even not just with staff, even with other clients that are here. There's a couple gentlemen in particular that once I move on and get out of here that I will be staying in contact with. I hope I've made lifelong friends. I'm not going to forget about this place and how it helped me get to where I need to be.